Question 1. A CLEP-style scenario says learners start feeling nervous after a certain chime is repeatedly paired with a pop quiz. Which answer best captures it for Elena? Option A. Constructivism. Option B. Classical conditioning. Option C. Operant conditioning. Option D. Metacognition. The correct answer is option B. Classical conditioning. This describes classical conditioning because a neutral stimulus becomes linked with an emotional response after repeated pairings. Constructivism is not the best choice because it explains active meaning-making, not a reflexive conditioned response. Operant conditioning is different because it focuses on consequences after behavior rather than associations before a response. Metacognition does not fit because it concerns thinking about one's own thinking, not learned emotional associations. Question 2. Inside a quick quiz review, Elena studies why a teacher adds praise after a learner participates and participation increases. Which concept fits? Option A. Extinction. Option B. Punishment. Option C. Negative reinforcement. Option D. Positive reinforcement. The correct answer is option D. Positive reinforcement. This describes positive reinforcement because a desirable consequence is added after a behavior, making that behavior more likely. Extinction is not the best choice because it weakens behavior by withholding reinforcement. Punishment is different because it aims to reduce behavior rather than increase it. Negative reinforcement does not fit because it removes an unpleasant condition rather than adding a reward. Question 3. Looking at the clue that learners complete homework early to avoid a weekly reminder call home, which idea should Elena remember? Option A. Positive reinforcement. Option B. Classical conditioning. Option C. Negative reinforcement. Option D. Response cost. The correct answer is option C. Negative reinforcement. This describes negative reinforcement because a behavior increases because it helps the learner avoid or remove something unpleasant. Positive reinforcement is not the best choice because it adds a pleasant consequence rather than removing an unpleasant one. Classical conditioning is different because it involves stimulus association rather than consequences shaping behavior. Response cost does not fit because it removes a privilege after misbehavior. Question 4. Elena sees that a learner receives an extra cleanup task after throwing paper and the behavior decreases during a final review session. Which concept best explains it? Option A. Negative reinforcement. Option B. Positive punishment. Option C. Shaping. Option D. Positive reinforcement. The correct answer is option B. Positive punishment. This describes positive punishment because an unpleasant consequence is added to reduce an unwanted behavior. Negative reinforcement is not the best choice because it increases behavior by removing something unpleasant. Shaping is different because it builds behavior through small reinforced steps. Positive reinforcement does not fit because it adds something desirable to increase behavior. Question 5. When Elena notices that a teacher rewards each closer attempt as a shy learner gradually speaks louder in class in a learning lab, which idea is being tested? Option A. Reciprocal teaching. Option B. Fixed ratio schedule. Option C. Extinction. Option D. Shaping. The correct answer is option D. Shaping. This describes shaping because successive approximations are reinforced until the desired behavior develops. Reciprocal teaching is not the best choice because it uses student-led reading strategies rather than behavior building. Fixed ratio schedule is different because it reinforces after a set number of responses, not gradual progress. Extinction does not fit because it reduces behavior by removing reinforcement. Question 6. During an after-school class, Elena studies a case where a teacher stops laughing at off-task jokes and the jokes slowly fade away. Which term fits best? Option A. Modeling. Option B. Extinction. Option C. Punishment. Option D. Spaced practice. The correct answer is option B. Extinction. This describes extinction because a previously reinforced behavior decreases when reinforcement is no longer provided. Modeling is not the best choice because it involves learning by watching others. Punishment is different because it adds or removes a consequence to reduce behavior more directly. Spaced practice does not fit because it improves memory through distributed study sessions. Question 7. In a student coaching session, Elena asks why a learner keeps answering review questions because bonus points appear after unpredictable numbers of correct responses. Which answer names the idea? Option A. Fixed interval schedule. Option B. Variable interval schedule. Option C. Fixed ratio schedule. Option D. Variable ratio schedule. The correct answer is option D. Variable ratio schedule. This describes variable ratio schedule because reinforcement occurs after an unpredictable number of responses, which often produces steady responding. Fixed interval schedule is not the best choice because it rewards the first response after a set amount of time. Variable interval schedule is different because it rewards after changing time intervals rather than response counts. Fixed ratio schedule does not fit because it rewards after a predictable number of responses. Question 8. After reading that learners work hardest right before a quiz that happens every Friday, how should Elena label the concept? Option A, fixed ratio schedule. Option B, variable ratio schedule. Option C, token economy. Option D, fixed interval schedule. The correct answer is option D, fixed interval schedule. This describes fixed interval schedule because reinforcement is available after a predictable amount of time has passed. Fixed ratio schedule is not the best choice because it depends on a set number of responses. Variable ratio schedule is different because it depends on unpredictable response counts. Token economy does not fit because it uses symbolic rewards exchanged for privileges. Question 9. For a short exam review, Elena connects a child copies a classmate's polite hand-raising after seeing the classmate praised with which principle? Option A, observational learning. Option B, classical conditioning. Option C, trial and error learning. Option D, insight learning. The correct answer is option A, observational learning. This describes observational learning because the learner changes behavior after watching another person and the consequences that follow. Classical conditioning is not the best choice because it links stimuli rather than modeling behavior. Trial and error learning is different because it depends on personal attempts and feedback rather than watching a model. Insight learning does not fit because it involves a sudden solution, not imitation. Question 10. Could a case where a learner with strong belief in personal ability chooses harder practice problems be an example of which concept for Elena? Option A, intrinsic motivation. Option B, external locus of control. Option C, self-concept. Option D, self-efficacy. The correct answer is option D, self-efficacy. This describes self-efficacy because the learner's belief in their capability affects effort, persistence, and challenge choice. Intrinsic motivation is not the best choice because it refers to interest or enjoyment, not belief in ability. External locus of control is different because it attributes outcomes to outside forces rather than personal capability. Self-concept does not fit because it is a broader view of oneself, not task-specific competence. Question 11. Why would Elena link a learner's competence, classroom behavior, and teacher response all influence one another to one major educational psychology idea? Option A, classical conditioning. Option B, norm reference testing. Option C, maturation. Option D, reciprocal determinism. The correct answer is option D, reciprocal determinism. This describes reciprocal determinism because personal factors, behavior, and environment interact in a two-way pattern. Classical conditioning is not the best choice because it focuses on learned stimulus associations. Norm reference testing is different because it compares scores to other test takers. Maturation does not fit because it emphasizes biological growth rather than social interaction cycles. Question 12. A practice item tells Elena that a teacher gives sentence starters at first and slowly removes them as learners improve. Which concept is most likely? Option A, standardization. Option B, scaffolding. Option C, summative assessment. Option D, extinction. The correct answer is option B, scaffolding. This describes scaffolding because temporary support is provided and then withdrawn as learners become more independent. Standardization is not the best choice because it keeps testing procedures the same for everyone. Summative assessment is different because it evaluates learning after instruction is complete. Extinction does not fit because it removes reinforcement to reduce behavior. Question 13. Before answering, Elena identifies that a learner can solve a problem with hints but not yet alone. Which term should be chosen? Option A, mastery learning. Option B, reliability. Option C, zone of proximal development. Option D, formal operational stage. The correct answer is option C, zone of proximal development. This describes zone of proximal development because the task sits between independent ability and what the learner can do with support. Mastery learning is not the best choice because it requires reaching a performance standard before moving on. Reliability is different because it concerns score consistency, not learning support. Formal operational stage does not fit because it describes abstract reasoning, not support level. Question 14. Which choice helps Elena explain why a child calls a zebra a horse because it fits an existing animal category in a practice test workshop? Option A, assimilation. Option B, conservation. Option C, encoding. Option D, accommodation. The correct answer is option A, assimilation. This describes assimilation because new information is interpreted using an existing mental schema. Conservation is not the best choice because it is understanding that quantity can stay the same despite appearance changes. Encoding is different because it is getting information into memory. Accommodation does not fit because it changes the schema to fit new information. Question 15. How can Elena classify a classroom moment where a child changes the animal category after learning zebras are not horses? Option A, accommodation. Option B, assimilation. Option C, rehearsal. Option D, class inclusion. The correct answer is option A, accommodation. This describes accommodation because an existing schema is revised when new information does not fit. Assimilation is not the best choice because it would force new information into an old schema. Rehearsal is different because it is repeating information to maintain it in memory. Class inclusion does not fit because it involves understanding category relationships. Question 16. Suppose Elena observes that a child solves conservation tasks but struggles with purely hypothetical logic. Which concept is shown? Option A, sensoromotor thinking. Option B, concrete operational thinking. Option C, formal operational thinking. Option D, pre-operational thinking. The correct answer is option B, concrete operational thinking. This describes concrete operational thinking because children can reason logically about concrete objects but not fully abstract possibilities. Sensoromotor thinking is not the best choice because it centers on infant sensory and motor exploration. Formal operational thinking is different because it includes abstract and hypothetical reasoning. Pre-operational thinking does not fit because it often lacks conservation and logical reversibility. Question 17. While reviewing, Elena sees a teen reasons through a hypothetical justice problem without needing physical examples. Which idea matches the situation? Option A, formal operational thinking. Option B, concrete operational thinking. Option C, pre-operational thinking. Option D, object permanence. The correct answer is option A, formal operational thinking. This describes formal operational thinking because abstract and hypothetical reasoning are key features of this stage. Concrete operational thinking is not the best choice because it works best with tangible examples. Pre-operational thinking is different because it is marked by symbolic thought but limited logic. Object permanence does not fit because it is an infant understanding that objects still exist when unseen. Question 18. One interesting clue says an infant searches for a hidden toy instead of acting as if it disappeared. Which educational psychology term fits for Elena? Option A, egocentrism. Option B, conservation. Option C, centration. Option D, object permanence. The correct answer is option D, object permanence. This describes object permanence because the child understands that objects continue to exist even when out of sight. Egocentrism is not the best choice because it involves difficulty taking another person's viewpoint. Conservation is different because it involves understanding quantity despite appearance changes. Centration does not fit because it means focusing on one feature while ignoring others. Question 19. From this example, where an elementary student gains pride from mastering reading and classroom skills, which answer should Elena select? Option A, industry versus inferiority. Option B, trust versus mistrust. Option C, identity versus role confusion. Option D, generativity versus stagnation. The correct answer is option A, industry versus inferiority. This describes industry versus inferiority because school-age children build competence through successful work and feedback. Trust versus mistrust is not the best choice because it centers on infant caregiver reliability. Identity versus role confusion is different because it is mainly an adolescent search for personal identity. Generativity versus stagnation does not fit because it focuses on adult contribution to others. Question 20. Students in a learning lab discuss why a teenager explores values, careers, and beliefs to answer who they are. Which concept gives the best explanation? Option A, industry versus inferiority. Option B, autonomy versus shame. Option C, intimacy versus isolation. Option D, identity versus role confusion. The correct answer is option D, identity versus role confusion. This describes identity versus role confusion because adolescents work toward a stable sense of self and direction. Industry versus inferiority is not the best choice because it focuses on school-age competence. Autonomy versus shame is different because it describes toddlers building independence. Intimacy versus isolation does not fit because it usually involves young adult relationships. Question 21. Teachers in an after-school class wonder why a learner says cheating is wrong because rules and community expectations matter. Which principle applies? Option A, post-conventional morality. Option B, moral realism. Option C, conventional morality. Option D, pre-conventional morality. The correct answer is option C, conventional morality. This describes conventional morality because moral reasoning is based on social approval, rules, and maintaining order. Post-conventional morality is not the best choice because it uses broad ethical principles beyond rules. Moral realism is different because it treats rules as fixed and unchangeable. Pre-conventional morality does not fit because it focuses on rewards and punishments. Question 22. Can Elena treat a child avoids lying mainly to escape punishment or earn a reward as evidence of which concept? Option A, conventional morality. Option B, identity achievement. Option C, pre-conventional morality. Option D, post-conventional morality. The correct answer is option C, pre-conventional morality. This describes pre-conventional morality because moral decisions are driven by personal consequences such as punishment or reward. Conventional morality is not the best choice because it emphasizes rules and approval from society. Identity achievement is different because it describes commitment after exploration, not moral reasoning. Post-conventional morality does not fit because it reasons from abstract principles and rights. Question 23. If Elena must answer quickly, which idea is signaled when a learner argues that a rule should be challenged when it violates basic human rights? Option A, post-conventional morality. Option B, pre-conventional morality. Option C, conventional morality. Option D, learned helplessness. The correct answer is option A, post-conventional morality. This describes post-conventional morality because moral reasoning is guided by universal principles rather than simple rule following. Pre-conventional morality is not the best choice because it focuses on personal gain or punishment. Conventional morality is different because it generally supports rules and social order. Learned helplessness does not fit because it concerns giving up after repeated failure. Question 24. Rather than guessing, Elena should connect a teacher plan's choices that include music, movement, language, and spatial design with which concept? Option A, working memory. Option B, multiple intelligences. Option C, norm reference testing. Option D, G-factor. The correct answer is option B, multiple intelligences. This describes multiple intelligences because the approach treats ability as varied across different domains of strength. Working memory is not the best choice because it is a limited mental workspace. Norm reference testing is different because it compares learners to a group. G-factor does not fit because it emphasizes a general intelligence factor. Question 25. Curiosity rises when Elena reads that an assignment asks learners to solve problems, create products, and apply ideas in daily life. Which term solves the puzzle? Option A, triarchic intelligence. Option B, criterion reference testing. Option C, multiple intelligences. Option D, fluid intelligence. The correct answer is option A, triarchic intelligence. This describes triarchic intelligence because Sternberg's model highlights analytical, creative, and practical intelligence. Criterion reference testing is not the best choice because it measures performance against standards. Multiple intelligences is different because it lists broader domains such as musical or bodily kinesthetic abilities. Fluid intelligence does not fit because it refers to novel problem-solving ability. Question 26. A CLEP-style scenario says a learner studies child development because the topic feels genuinely fascinating. Which answer best captures it for Elena? Option A, intrinsic motivation. Option B, extrinsic motivation. Option C, negative reinforcement. Option D, performance goal. The correct answer is option A, intrinsic motivation. This describes intrinsic motivation because the behavior is driven by interest, curiosity, or enjoyment of the activity itself. Extrinsic motivation is not the best choice because it depends on outside rewards or pressures. Negative reinforcement is different because it increases behavior by removing something unpleasant. Performance goal does not fit because it focuses on looking competent compared with others. Question 27. Inside an online prep session, Elena studies why a learner completes extra practice mainly to earn a gift card. Which concept fits? Option A, self-regulation. Option B, extrinsic motivation. Option C, mastery goal. Option D, intrinsic motivation. The correct answer is option B, extrinsic motivation. This describes extrinsic motivation because the behavior is driven by an outside reward rather than the activity itself. Self-regulation is not the best choice because it involves planning and monitoring one's learning. Mastery goal is different because it emphasizes learning and improvement. Intrinsic motivation does not fit because it comes from interest or enjoyment. Question 28. Looking at the clue that a learner chooses difficult questions to improve understanding even if mistakes happen, which idea should Elena remember? Option A, fixed mindset. Option B, mastery goal. Option C, avoidance goal. Option D, performance goal. The correct answer is option B, mastery goal. This describes mastery goal because the focus is on growth, learning, and skill development. Fixed mindset is not the best choice because it treats ability as unchangeable. Avoidance goal is different because it focuses on avoiding failure or embarrassment. Performance goal does not fit because it focuses on proving ability or outperforming others. Question 29. Elena sees that a learner studies mainly to score higher than classmates and appear smart during a practice test workshop. Which concept best explains it? Option A, performance goal. Option B, mastery goal. Option C, metacognition. Option D, intrinsic motivation. The correct answer is option A, performance goal. This describes performance goal because the learner is focused on demonstrating ability relative to others. Mastery goal is not the best choice because it centers on improvement and understanding. Metacognition is different because it involves awareness and control of thinking. Intrinsic motivation does not fit because it centers on enjoyment or curiosity. Question 30. When Elena notices that a learner explains a failed test by blaming effort, task difficulty, luck, or ability in a tutoring table, which idea is being tested? Option A, attribution theory. Option B, constructivism. Option C, classroom ecology. Option D, information processing theory. The correct answer is option A, attribution theory. This describes attribution theory because it examines how people explain causes of success and failure. Constructivism is not the best choice because it emphasizes building meaning from experience. Classroom ecology is different because it focuses on classroom environment patterns. Information processing theory does not fit because it explains how information moves through memory systems. Question 31. During a classroom discussion, Elena studies a case where a learner stops trying because repeated failures made success feel impossible. Which term fits best? Option A, positive transfer. Option B, learned helplessness. Option C, self-efficacy. Option D, growth mindset. The correct answer is option B, learned helplessness. This describes learned helplessness because repeated uncontrollable failure can reduce motivation and effort. Positive transfer is not the best choice because it happens when prior learning helps new learning. Self-efficacy is different because it refers to belief in capability, not resignation. Growth mindset does not fit because it supports belief that ability can improve. Question 32. In a quick quiz review, Elena asks why a learner treats mistakes as evidence that a skill can improve with strategy and effort. Which answer names the idea? Option A, growth mindset. Option B, external attribution. Option C, entity theory. Option D, fixed mindset. The correct answer is option A, growth mindset. This describes growth mindset because ability is viewed as developable through effort, feedback, and better strategies. External attribution is not the best choice because it places causes outside the learner. Entity theory is different because it is another way to describe fixed views of ability. Fixed mindset does not fit because it treats ability as stable and hard to change. Question 33. After reading that a hungry, unsafe student struggles to focus on a challenging lesson, how should Elena label the concept? Option A, Maslow hierarchy of needs. Option B, Bloom taxonomy. Option C, classical conditioning. Option D, Kohlberg theory. The correct answer is option A, Maslow hierarchy of needs. This describes Maslow hierarchy of needs because basic physiological and safety needs can affect readiness for higher level learning. Bloom taxonomy is not the best choice because it classifies cognitive learning objectives. Classical conditioning is different because it explains learned stimulus response associations. Kohlberg theory does not fit because it describes moral reasoning development. Question 34. For a short exam review, Elena connects a learner loses track while solving a long mental math problem with many steps with which principle? Option A, long-term memory. Option B, procedural memory. Option C, sensory memory. Option D, working memory. The correct answer is option D, working memory. This describes working memory because working memory is the limited mental space used to hold and process information temporarily. Long-term memory is not the best choice because it stores information over extended periods. Procedural memory is different because it stores skills and habits. sensory memory does not fit because it briefly holds raw sensory input. Question 35. Could a case where a learner recalls a teaching theory studied weeks earlier be an example of which concept for Elena? Option A, working memory. Option B, selective attention. Option C, long-term memory. Option D, sensory memory. The correct answer is option C, long-term memory. This describes long-term memory because information retained over time is stored in long-term memory. Working memory is not the best choice because it is temporary and limited during active thinking. Selective attention is different because it filters what receives mental focus. Sensory memory does not fit because it lasts only briefly after stimulation. Question 36. Why would Elena link a learner turns a new vocabulary term into a meaningful example to remember it to one major educational psychology idea? Option A, extinction. Option B, retrieval. Option C, encoding. Option D, validity. The correct answer is option C, encoding. This describes encoding because encoding is the process of getting information into memory in a usable form. Extinction is not the best choice because it weakens a learned behavior. Retrieval is different because it involves pulling stored information back out. Validity does not fit because it concerns whether a test measures what it should. Question 37. A practice item tells Elena that a learner closes the book and answers questions from memory to strengthen recall. Which concept is most likely? Option A, centration. Option B, retrieval practice. Option C, massed practice. Option D, summative assessment. The correct answer is option B, retrieval practice. This describes retrieval practice because actively recalling information improves later memory more than simply rereading. Centration is not the best choice because it means focusing on one feature of a situation. Massed practice is different because it compresses study into one long session. Summative assessment does not fit because it evaluates learning at the end of instruction. Question 38. Before answering, Elena identifies that a learner studies the same concepts in short sessions across several days. Which term should be chosen? Option A, spaced practice. Option B, norming. Option C, massed practice. Option D, shaping. The correct answer is option A, spaced practice. This describes spaced practice because learning is distributed over time, which usually supports stronger retention. Norming is not the best choice because it creates comparison data for a test. Massed practice is different because it packs study into one concentrated period. Shaping does not fit because it reinforces gradual behavior changes. Question 39. Which choice helps Elena explain why a learner links a new theory to personal classroom experiences in a peer study circle? Option A, rote rehearsal. Option B, extinction. Option C, reliability. Option D, elaboration. The correct answer is option D, elaboration. This describes elaboration because new information is made more meaningful by connecting it to existing knowledge. Rote rehearsal is not the best choice because it repeats information without adding meaning. Extinction is different because it removes reinforcement to reduce behavior. Reliability does not fit because it refers to consistency of measurement. Question 40. How can Elena classify a classroom moment where a learner groups a long list of theorists into behaviorist, cognitive, and social categories? Option A, accommodation. Option B, chunking. Option C, response cost. Option D, overlearning. The correct answer is option B, chunking. This describes chunking because information is organized into meaningful units to reduce memory load. Accommodation is not the best choice because it changes a schema to fit new information. Response cost is different because it removes a privilege to reduce behavior. Overlearning does not fit because it continues practice after initial mastery. Question 41. Suppose Elena observes that a learner checks which topics are weak and adjusts the study plan. Which concept is shown? Option A, automaticity. Option B, classical conditioning. Option C, extrinsic motivation. Option D, metacognition. The correct answer is option D, metacognition. This describes metacognition because the learner monitors and controls their own thinking and learning strategies. Automaticity is not the best choice because it means a skill requires little conscious effort. Classical conditioning is different because it involves learned associations. Extrinsic motivation does not fit because it depends on external rewards. Question 42. While reviewing, Elena sees knowledge from a statistics lesson helps a learner understand test reliability. Which idea matches the situation? Option A, extinction. Option B, negative punishment. Option C, cognitive dissonance. Option D, transfer of learning. The correct answer is option D, transfer of learning. This describes transfer of learning because previous learning influences performance in a new but related situation. Extinction is not the best choice because it reduces behavior when reinforcement stops. Negative punishment is different because it removes something desirable to reduce behavior. Cognitive dissonance does not fit because it involves discomfort from conflicting beliefs. Question 43. One interesting clue says a teacher gives a big picture concept map before a complex lesson begins. Which educational psychology term fits for Elena? Option A, token economy. Option B, advance organizer. Option C, exit ticket. Option D, random assignment. The correct answer is option B, advance organizer. This describes advance organizer because a preview structure helps learners connect new information to prior knowledge. Token economy is not the best choice because it uses symbolic rewards. Exit ticket is different because it checks understanding at the end of a lesson. Random assignment does not fit because it places participants into groups by chance. Question 44. From this example, where a learner uses an existing mental framework about classrooms to understand a new teaching method, which answer should Elena select? Option A, schema. Option B, percentile rank. Option C, rubric. Option D, reinforcer. The correct answer is option A, schema. This describes schema because a schema is an organized knowledge structure used to interpret information. Percentile rank is not the best choice because it shows relative standing in a group. Rubric is different because it is a scoring guide. Reinforcer does not fit because it is a consequence that increases behavior. Question 45. Students in a tutoring table discuss why too many visuals, terms, and steps overwhelm a learner during a first lesson. Which concept gives the best explanation? Option A, reliability. Option B, cognitive load. Option C, intrinsic motivation. Option D, egocentrism. The correct answer is option B, cognitive load. This describes cognitive load because working memory can become overloaded when too much information must be processed at once. Reliability is not the best choice because it concerns consistency of scores. Intrinsic motivation is different because it concerns interest and enjoyment. Egocentrism does not fit because it means difficulty taking another viewpoint. Question 46. Teachers in a classroom discussion wonder why learners build their own understanding through discussion, examples, and problem solving. Which principle applies? Option A, constructivism. Option B, behaviorism. Option C, maturation. Option D, standardization. The correct answer is option A, constructivism. This describes constructivism because learners actively construct meaning rather than simply receive information. Behaviorism is not the best choice because it emphasizes observable behavior and consequences. Maturation is different because it emphasizes biological growth. Standardization does not fit because it keeps procedures uniform. Question 47. Can Elena treat learners' investigate a question, gather evidence, and develop an explanation as evidence of which concept? Option A, inquiry-based learning. Option B, direct instruction. Option C, fixed ratio reinforcement. Option D, norm-referenced assessment. The correct answer is option A, inquiry-based learning. This describes inquiry-based learning because learning begins with questions and exploration rather than only direct telling. Direct instruction is not the best choice because it uses clear teacher-led explanation and guided practice. Fixed ratio reinforcement is different because it rewards after a set number of responses. Norm-referenced assessment does not fit because it compares students to one another. Question 48. If Elena must answer quickly, which idea is signaled when a teacher models a skill, guides practice, checks understanding, and gives feedback? Option A, discovery learning. Option B, peer tutoring. Option C, portfolio assessment. Option D, direct instruction. The correct answer is option D, direct instruction. This describes direct instruction because the method uses explicit teaching steps and structured practice. Discovery learning is not the best choice because it expects students to uncover ideas with less direct guidance. Peer tutoring is different because it uses students helping students. Portfolio assessment does not fit because it collects work over time. Question 49. Rather than guessing, Elena should connect learners' work in small groups with shared goals and individual accountability with which concept? Option A, cooperative learning. Option B, competitive learning. Option C, independent study. Option D, lecture method. The correct answer is option A, cooperative learning. This describes cooperative learning because learners collaborate while each member remains responsible for contributing. Competitive learning is not the best choice because it ranks students against one another. Independent study is different because it relies on solo learning. Lecture method does not fit because it centers on teacher presentation. Question 50. Curiosity rises when Elena reads that a teacher adjusts tasks, materials, and support based on learner readiness. Which term solves the puzzle? Option A, standardized instruction. Option B, differentiated instruction. Option C, summative assessment. Option D, random sampling. The correct answer is option B, differentiated instruction. This describes differentiated instruction because instruction is adapted to different needs while keeping meaningful learning goals. Standardized instruction is not the best choice because it delivers the same approach to all students. Summative assessment is different because it evaluates after instruction. Random sampling does not fit because it selects participants for research. Question 51. A CLEP-style scenario says a lesson offers text, audio, visuals, and different ways to show understanding from the start. Which answer best captures it for Elena? Option A, tracking. Option B, mastery grading. Option C, accommodation only. Option D, universal design for learning. The correct answer is option D, universal design for learning. This describes universal design for learning because UDL plans flexible access and expression options before barriers appear. Tracking is not the best choice because it separates students into groups by perceived ability. Mastery grading is different because it focuses on reaching standards before moving ahead. Accommodation only does not fit because it changes access for an individual after a need is identified. Question 52. Inside a student coaching session, Elena studies why a teacher uses a quick exit question to adjust tomorrow's lesson. Which concept fits? Option A, placement test. Option B, formative assessment. Option C, summative assessment. Option D, norm-referenced assessment. The correct answer is option B, formative assessment. This describes formative assessment because the assessment is used during learning to guide instruction and feedback. Placement test is not the best choice because it sorts students before instruction begins. Summative assessment is different because it judges learning after instruction is complete. Norm-referenced assessment does not fit because it compares performance to other learners. Question 53. Looking at the clue that a final exam measures what learners learned after the unit ends, which idea should Elena remember? Option A, formative assessment. Option B, diagnostic assessment. Option C, summative assessment. Option D, anecdotal record. The correct answer is option C, summative assessment. This describes summative assessment because the assessment evaluates achievement at the end of a learning period. Formative assessment is not the best choice because it guides instruction during learning. Diagnostic assessment is different because it identifies starting strengths and needs. Anecdotal record does not fit because it is a brief observational note. Question 54. Elena sees that a learner's score is judged against a fixed standard of mastery during a peer study circle. Which concept best explains it? Option A, norm-referenced assessment. Option B, ipsative assessment. Option C, criterion-referenced assessment. Option D, informal observation. The correct answer is option C, criterion-referenced assessment. This describes criterion-referenced assessment because performance is compared with defined criteria rather than other students. Norm-referenced assessment is not the best choice because it compares students to a reference group. Ipsative assessment is different because it compares a student to their own past performance. Informal observation does not fit because it is not necessarily tied to a fixed standard. Question 55. When Elena notices that a score report shows how a learner performed compared with a national sample in a Bright Review class, which idea is being tested? Option A, norm-referenced assessment. Option B, authentic assessment. Option C, criterion-referenced assessment. Option D, formative assessment. The correct answer is option A, norm-referenced assessment. This describes norm-referenced assessment because the score is interpreted relative to other test takers. Authentic assessment is not the best choice because it uses real-world tasks. Criterion-referenced assessment is different because it compares performance to a standard. Formative assessment does not fit because it is used during learning for improvement. Question 56. During a quiet study group, Elena studies a case where a test gives similar results when the same skill is measured repeatedly. Which term fits best? Option A, bias. Option B, validity. Option C, reliability. Option D, percentile rank. The correct answer is option C, reliability. This describes reliability because reliability means scores are consistent across time, items, or raters. Bias is not the best choice because it concerns unfair advantage or disadvantage. Validity is different because it asks whether the test measures the intended construct. Percentile rank does not fit because it reports relative standing. Question 57. In an online prep session, Elena asks why a math test actually measures math reasoning instead of reading speed. Which answer names the idea? Option A, validity. Option B, reliability. Option C, standard error. Option D, inter-rater agreement. The correct answer is option A, validity. This describes validity because validity concerns whether an assessment measures what it claims to measure. Reliability is not the best choice because it concerns consistency, not meaning. Standard error is different because it estimates score uncertainty. Inter-rater agreement does not fit because it is one form of consistency between scorers. Question 58. After reading that all examines receive the same directions, timing, and scoring rules, how should Elena label the concept? Option A, standardized test. Option B, portfolio assessment. Option C, informal assessment. Option D, authentic assessment. The correct answer is option A, standardized test. This describes standardized test because standardization keeps testing conditions uniform so scores can be interpreted fairly. Portfolio assessment is not the best choice because it collects multiple pieces of work over time. Informal assessment is different because it may be flexible and teacher-made. Authentic assessment does not fit because it asks students to perform realistic tasks. Question 59. For a short exam review, Elena connects learners design a real classroom plan instead of only selecting answers on a test with which principle? Option A, norm-referenced assessment. Option B, authentic assessment. Option C, forced choice test. Option D, standardized assessment. The correct answer is option B, authentic assessment. This describes authentic assessment because students demonstrate learning through realistic tasks and products. Norm-referenced assessment is not the best choice because it compares performance to a group. Forced choice test is different because it limits responses to provided options. Standardized assessment does not fit because it uses uniform procedures and scoring. Question 60. Could a case where learners receive a scoring guide describing levels for evidence, clarity, and accuracy be an example of which concept for Elena? Option A, syllabus. Option B, norm table. Option C, checklist. Option D, rubric. The correct answer is option D, rubric. This describes rubric because a rubric lists criteria and performance levels for judging work. Syllabus is not the best choice because it outlines course policies and topics. Norm table is different because it helps interpret scores against a sample. Checklist does not fit because it often marks whether elements are present without quality levels. Question 61. Why would Elena link a teacher moves learners from remembering facts to evaluating arguments and creating projects to one major educational psychology idea? Option A, Maslow hierarchy. Option B, Bloom taxonomy. Option C, Kohlberg stages. Option D, Erikson stages. The correct answer is option B, Bloom taxonomy. This describes Bloom taxonomy because the taxonomy organizes cognitive tasks from lower to higher levels of thinking. Maslow hierarchy is not the best choice because it organizes human needs. Kohlberg stages is different because it describes moral reasoning. Erikson stages does not fit because it describes psychosocial development. Question 62. A practice item tells Elena that a learner with a qualifying disability has a legal plan with goals and services. Which concept is most likely? Option A, rubric. Option B, norming report. Option C, lesson plan. Option D, individualized education program. The correct answer is option D, individualized education program. This describes individualized education program because an IEP documents specialized instruction, supports, goals, and services for eligible students. Rubric is not the best choice because it scores performance. Norming report is different because it summarizes comparison data. Lesson plan does not fit because it guides a teacher's daily instruction, but is not a special education legal document. Question 63. Before answering, Elena identifies that a learner with a disability learns with non-disabled peers as much as appropriate. Which term should be chosen? Option A, retention. Option B, tracking. Option C, least restrictive environment. Option D, standardization. The correct answer is option C, least restrictive environment. This describes least restrictive environment because students should be educated in settings that provide access while avoiding unnecessary separation. Retention is not the best choice because it keeps a student in the same grade. Tracking is different because it groups students by perceived ability. Standardization does not fit because it keeps testing procedures uniform. Question 64. Which choice helps Elena explain why a learner gets extended time while the learning target stays the same in a final review session? Option A, punishment. Option B, accommodation. Option C, modification. Option D, acceleration. The correct answer is option B, accommodation. This describes accommodation because access is adjusted without changing the essential learning expectation. Punishment is not the best choice because it reduces unwanted behavior through consequences. Modification is different because it changes the learning expectation or task level. Acceleration does not fit because it moves a learner ahead faster. Question 65. How can Elena classify a classroom moment where a learner completes a simplified assignment with different learning expectations? Option A, modification. Option B, accommodation. Option C, universal screening. Option D, scaffolding. The correct answer is option A, modification. This describes modification because the task or standard is changed to fit the learner's instructional level. Accommodation is not the best choice because it changes access while keeping the same standard. Universal screening is different because it checks all learners for risk. Scaffolding does not fit because it gives temporary support toward the same goal. Question 66. Suppose Elena observes that a strong thinker struggles with accurate word decoding and benefits from structured phonics. Which concept is shown? Option A, percentile rank. Option B, behavior contract. Option C, dyslexia support. Option D, dyscalculia support. The correct answer is option C, dyslexia support. This describes dyslexia support because dyslexia commonly affects word reading and decoding, so explicit structured literacy support can help. Percentile rank is not the best choice because it reports relative test standing. Behavior contract is different because it targets behavior goals. Dyscalculia support does not fit because it focuses on math-related difficulties. Question 67. While reviewing, Elena sees a learner focuses better with short tasks, movement breaks, and clear routines. Which idea matches the situation? Option A, gifted compacting. Option B, classical conditioning. Option C, criterion testing. Option D, ADHD classroom support. The correct answer is option D, ADHD classroom support. This describes ADHD classroom support because structured routines and attention supports can reduce distractions and support self-management. Gifted compacting is not the best choice because it removes already mastered work for advanced learners. Classical conditioning is different because it links stimuli with responses. Criterion testing does not fit because it compares performance to standards. Question 68. One interesting clue says an advanced learner skips mastered work and uses time for deeper enrichment. Which educational psychology term fits for Elena? Option A, curriculum compacting. Option B, retention. Option C, extinction. Option D, remediation. The correct answer is option A, curriculum compacting. This describes curriculum compacting because already mastered content is reduced so the learner can pursue more challenging work. Retention is not the best choice because it repeats a grade or course. Extinction is different because it removes reinforcement to reduce a behavior. Remediation does not fit because it remediates skills that are not yet mastered. Question 69. From this example, where examples, discussion norms, and materials connect learning to learners' cultural backgrounds, which answer should Elena select? Option A, ability tracking. Option B, colorblind teaching. Option C, culturally responsive teaching. Option D, standardized testing. The correct answer is option C, culturally responsive teaching. This describes culturally responsive teaching because instruction uses students' cultural knowledge and experiences as assets for learning. Ability tracking is not the best choice because it separates students by perceived ability. Colorblind teaching is different because it ignores cultural differences rather than using them constructively. Standardized testing does not fit because it keeps procedures uniform. Question 70. Students in a Bright Review class discuss why an assessment unfairly disadvantages a group because examples depend on unfamiliar cultural knowledge. Which concept gives the best explanation? Option A, test bias. Option B, validity evidence. Option C, standard deviation. Option D, reliability. The correct answer is option A, test bias. This describes test bias because bias occurs when irrelevant factors give some groups an unfair advantage or disadvantage. Validity evidence is not the best choice because it supports appropriate score interpretation. Standard deviation is different because it describes score spread. Reliability does not fit because it concerns score consistency. Question 71. Teachers in a quiet study group wonder why learners transition quickly because procedures for materials and movement are practiced daily. Which principle applies? Option A, random reinforcement. Option B, summative testing. Option C, classroom routines. Option D, accommodation. The correct answer is option C, classroom routines. This describes classroom routines because clear repeated procedures reduce confusion and support orderly learning time. Random reinforcement is not the best choice because it gives rewards unpredictably. Summative testing is different because it evaluates final achievement. Accommodation does not fit because it adjusts access for a learner. Question 72. Can Elena treat learners earn points for target behaviors and trade them for privileges as evidence of which concept? Option A, logical consequence. Option B, mastery learning. Option C, classical conditioning. Option D, token economy. The correct answer is option D, token economy. This describes token economy because tokens serve as conditioned reinforcers that can be exchanged for backup rewards. Logical consequence is not the best choice because it is connected naturally to misbehavior. Mastery learning is different because it requires meeting standards before moving forward. Classical conditioning does not fit because it links two stimuli rather than using exchangeable rewards. Question 73. If Elena must answer quickly, which idea is signaled when a learner who misuses lab materials must repair the setup and review safety steps? Option A, unrelated punishment. Option B, negative reinforcement. Option C, extinction. Option D, logical consequence. The correct answer is option D, logical consequence. This describes logical consequence because the consequence is related to the behavior and helps restore responsible action. Unrelated punishment is not the best choice because it does not connect meaningfully to the behavior. Negative reinforcement is different because it increases behavior by removing an unpleasant condition. Extinction does not fit because it withholds reinforcement to reduce behavior. Question 74. Rather than guessing, Elena should connect a teacher spots small off-task behavior early while continuing the lesson smoothly with which concept? Option A, scaffolding. Option B, with-itness. Option C, self-efficacy. Option D, wait time. The correct answer is option B, with-itness. This describes with-itness because with-itness means awareness of classroom events and quick response before problems grow. Scaffolding is not the best choice because it gives temporary learning support. Self-efficacy is different because it is belief in capability. Wait time does not fit because it is a pause after asking a question. Question 75. Curiosity rises when Elena reads that a teacher pauses several seconds after asking a question before calling on anyone. Which term solves the puzzle? Option A, response cost. Option B, wait time. Option C, with-itness. Option D, distributed practice. The correct answer is option B, wait time. This describes wait time because wait time gives students more processing time and often improves response quality. Response cost is not the best choice because it removes a privilege after behavior. With-itness is different because it is awareness of classroom behavior. Distributed practice does not fit because it spreads study sessions over time. Question 76. A CLEP-style scenario says a prompt asks learners to explain several possible reasons instead of choosing one fact. Which answer best captures it for Elena? Option A, closed question. Option B, recall cue. Option C, open-ended questioning. Option D, fixed ratio schedule. The correct answer is option C, open-ended questioning. This describes open-ended questioning because open-ended questions invite elaboration, reasoning, and multiple defensible responses. Closed question is not the best choice because it usually has one brief answer. Recall cue is different because it simply prompts memory of stored information. Fixed ratio schedule does not fit because it reinforces after a set number of responses. Question 77. Inside a quick quiz review, Elena studies why a teacher tells a learner exactly what worked and what to revise next. Which concept fits? Option A, effective feedback. Option B, summative grade only. Option C, general praise. Option D, random correction. The correct answer is option A, effective feedback. This describes effective feedback because specific, timely feedback helps learners close the gap between current and desired performance. Summative grade only is not the best choice because it reports performance without next steps. General praise is different because it may feel positive but gives little guidance. Random correction does not fit because it lacks targeted connection to the learning goal. Question 78. Looking at the clue that a learner sets a goal, monitors progress, changes strategies, and reflects after studying, which idea should Elena remember? Option A, operant conditioning. Option B, social facilitation. Option C, object permanence. Option D, self-regulated learning. The correct answer is option D, self-regulated learning. This describes self-regulated learning because learners actively plan, monitor, control, and evaluate their learning. Operant conditioning is not the best choice because it emphasizes consequences shaping behavior. Social facilitation is different because it concerns performance changes in the presence of others. Object permanence does not fit because it concerns infant understanding of hidden objects. Question 79. Elena sees that learners take turns summarizing, questioning, clarifying, and predicting during reading during a final review session. Which concept best explains it? Option A, reciprocal teaching. Option B, random assignment. Option C, token economy. Option D, direct instruction. The correct answer is option A, reciprocal teaching. This describes reciprocal teaching because the strategy uses structured dialogue to improve comprehension. Random assignment is not the best choice because it assigns participants to groups by chance. Token economy is different because it uses symbolic rewards. Direct instruction does not fit because it is mainly teacher-led explanation and practice. Question 80. When Elena notices that one student guides another through practice while both receive learning benefits in a learning lab, which idea is being tested? Option A, tracking. Option B, peer tutoring. Option C, lecture. Option D, portfolio assessment. The correct answer is option B, peer tutoring. This describes peer tutoring because students support each other's learning through structured helper-learner roles. Tracking is not the best choice because it separates students into ability groups. Lecture is different because it is teacher presentation to a group. Portfolio assessment does not fit because it collects work samples over time. Question 81. During an after-school class, Elena studies a case where a child identifies that cat and cup begin with the same spoken sound. Which term fits best? Option A, phonemic awareness. Option B, morphology. Option C, syntax. Option D, phonics. The correct answer is option A, phonemic awareness. This describes phonemic awareness because the learner is attending to individual sounds in spoken language. Morphology is not the best choice because it studies meaningful word parts. Syntax is different because it concerns sentence structure. Phonics does not fit because it links sounds to printed letters. Question 82. In a student coaching session, Elena asks why a learner improves a skill after watching a confident model demonstrate each step. Which answer names the idea? Option A, Maslow needs. Option B, Skinner shaping. Option C, Piaget conservation. Option D, Bandura modeling. The correct answer is option D, Bandura modeling. This describes Bandura modeling because Bandura emphasized learning by observing models and the outcomes of their actions. Maslow needs is not the best choice because it explains motivation through layered needs. Skinner shaping is different because it reinforces gradual behavior changes through consequences. Piaget conservation does not fit because it concerns logical understanding of quantity. Question 83. After reading that family, school, peers, community, and culture all shape a child's development, how should Elena label the concept? Option A, Kohlberg moral stages. Option B, Bernfenbrenner ecological systems. Option C, Erikson psychosocial stages. Option D, information processing. The correct answer is option B, Bernfenbrenner ecological systems. This describes Bernfenbrenner ecological systems because development is influenced by nested environmental systems around the child. Kohlberg moral stages is not the best choice because it focuses on moral reasoning. Erikson psychosocial stages is different because it focuses on lifespan social-emotional conflicts. Information processing does not fit because it compares thinking to mental processing systems. Question 84. For a short exam review, Elena connects a young child uses a caregiver as a safe base and seeks comfort after stress with which principle? Option A, authoritarian parenting. Option B, industry versus inferiority. Option C, secure attachment. Option D, avoidant attachment. The correct answer is option C, secure attachment. This describes secure attachment because secure attachment involves trust in caregiver availability and comfort. Authoritarian parenting is not the best choice because it describes strict parenting style. Industry versus inferiority is different because it is a school-age psychosocial conflict. Avoidant attachment is not fit because it shows reduced seeking of comfort. Question 85. Could a case where two infants differ early in activity level, mood, and adaptability be an example of which concept for Elena? Option A, self-concept. Option B, temperament. Option C, moral reasoning. Option D, criterion validity. The correct answer is option B, temperament. This describes temperament because temperament refers to biologically influenced patterns of emotional and behavioral response. Self-concept is not the best choice because it is a person's view of self. Moral reasoning is different because it concerns judgments about right and wrong. Criterion validity does not fit because it links test scores to an outcome. Question 86. Why would Elena link a child says go because a regular grammar rule is applied too broadly to one major educational psychology idea? Option A, code switching. Option B, babbling. Option C, telegraphic speech. Option D, language overgeneralization. The correct answer is option D, language overgeneralization. This describes language overgeneralization because the child applies a learned language rule to an irregular case. Code switching is not the best choice because it shifts language varieties based on context. Babbling is different because it is early sound play. Telegraphic speech does not fit because it uses short two-word phrases. Question 87. A practice item tells Elena that learners explain whether a character should break a rule to help someone in need. Which concept is most likely? Option A, achievement test. Option B, moral dilemma assessment. Option C, behavior checklist. Option D, aptitude test. The correct answer is option B, moral dilemma assessment. This describes moral dilemma assessment because moral dilemmas reveal the reasoning behind judgments, not just the choice itself. Achievement test is not the best choice because it measures learned academic content. Behavior checklist is different because it records observed behaviors. Aptitude test does not fit because it predicts future learning potential. Question 88. Before answering, Elena identifies that a study finds that homework time and test scores rise together without proving cause. Which term should be chosen? Option A, experimental research. Option B, ethnography. Option C, case study. Option D, correlational research. The correct answer is option D, correlational research. This describes correlational research because correlation shows a relationship between variables but does not establish causation. Experimental research is not the best choice because it manipulates variables to test cause and effect. Ethnography is different because it studies culture through immersion. Case study does not fit because it examines one person or small group deeply. Question 89. Which choice helps Elena explain why participants are placed into tutoring or no tutoring groups by chance in a practice test workshop? Option A, matching. Option B, random assignment. Option C, random sampling. Option D, convenience sampling. The correct answer is option B, random assignment. This describes random assignment because chance placement helps make groups similar before the treatment begins. Matching is not the best choice because it pairs participants on key traits. Random sampling is different because it selects participants from a population. Convenience sampling does not fit because it uses whoever is easily available. Question 90. How can Elena classify a classroom moment where a researcher changes the type of feedback learners receive? Option A, confounding variable. Option B, independent variable. Option C, control variable. Option D, dependent variable. The correct answer is option B, independent variable. This describes independent variable because the independent variable is the factor the researcher manipulates. Confounding variable is not the best choice because it is an unwanted factor that may affect results. Control variable is different because it is held constant. Dependent variable does not fit because it is the measured outcome. Question 91. Suppose Elena observes that a researcher measures quiz scores after using two different teaching methods. Which concept is shown? Option A, independent variable. Option B, random assignment. Option C, extraneous variable. Option D, dependent variable. The correct answer is option D, dependent variable. This describes dependent variable because the dependent variable is the outcome measured to see whether the treatment had an effect. Independent variable is not the best choice because it is the factor manipulated. Random assignment is different because it is a grouping procedure. Extraneous variable does not fit because it is an outside influence. Question 92. While reviewing, Elena sees one group receives regular instruction while another receives a new memory strategy. Which idea matches the situation? Option A, population. Option B, control group. Option C, experimental group. Option D, sample. The correct answer is option B, control group. This describes control group because the control group provides a comparison for judging the effect of the treatment. Population is not the best choice because it is the larger group of interest. Experimental group is different because it receives the treatment being tested. Sample does not fit because it is the set of participants studied. Question 93. One interesting clue says a teacher adds all quiz scores and divides by the number of learners. Which educational psychology term fits for Elena? Option A, range. Option B, mean. Option C, mode. Option D, median. The correct answer is option B, mean. This describes mean because the mean is the arithmetic average of a set of scores. Range is not the best choice because it is the difference between highest and lowest scores. Mode is different because it is the most frequent score. Median does not fit because it is the middle score. Question 94. From this example, where a teacher wants to know how spread out the class scores are around the average, which answer should Elena select? Option A, raw score. Option B, mean. Option C, percentile rank. Option D, standard deviation. The correct answer is option D, standard deviation. This describes standard deviation because standard deviation describes typical distance of scores from the mean. Raw score is not the best choice because it is the number of points earned. Mean is different because it gives the average but not spread. Percentile rank does not fit because it shows relative standing. Question 95. Students in a learning lab discuss why a learner's report says the score is higher than the scores of 80% of the norm group. Which concept gives the best explanation? Option A, grade equivalent. Option B, standard deviation. Option C, percentile rank. Option D, percentage correct. The correct answer is option C, percentile rank. This describes percentile rank because percentile rank tells the percentage of comparison scores at or below a student's score. Grade equivalent is not the best choice because it estimates grade level performance, often imperfectly. Standard deviation is different because it describes score spread. Percentage correct does not fit because it reports items answered correctly. Question 96. Teachers in an after-school class wonder why learners improve partly because they know they are being studied. Which principle applies? Option A, placebo effect. Option B, Hawthorne effect. Option C, testing effect. Option D, observer bias. The correct answer is option B, Hawthorne effect. This describes Hawthorne effect because participants may change behavior simply because they are receiving attention in a study. Placebo effect is not the best choice because it involves improvement from belief in a treatment. Testing effect is different because it improves learning through retrieval practice. Observer bias does not fit because it occurs when researcher expectations shape recording. Question 97. Can Elena treat learners improve over a semester because they naturally grew older, not because of the program as evidence of which concept? Option A, maturation threat. Option B, regression to the mean. Option C, selection bias. Option D, instrumentation threat. The correct answer is option A, maturation threat. This describes maturation threat because changes due to natural development can threaten conclusions about a treatment's effect. Regression to the mean is not the best choice because it occurs when extreme scores move closer to average later. Selection bias is different because it occurs when groups differ before a treatment. Instrumentation threat does not fit because it occurs when measurement changes over time. Question 98. If Elena must answer quickly, which idea is signaled when a researcher records detailed notes about classroom interactions instead of only counting scores? Option A, meta-analysis. Option B, random assignment. Option C, qualitative observation. Option D, standardized testing. The correct answer is option C, qualitative observation. This describes qualitative observation because qualitative methods focus on rich descriptions and meanings in context. Meta-analysis is not the best choice because it statistically combines many studies. Random assignment is different because it places participants into groups by chance. Standardized testing does not fit because it uses uniform measurement procedures. Question 99. Rather than guessing, Elena should connect a teacher studies the effect of a new discussion routine in the teacher's own classroom with which concept? Option A, longitudinal research. Option B, action research. Option C, laboratory experiment. Option D, survey research. The correct answer is option B, action research. This describes action research because practitioners investigate their own settings to improve local practice. Longitudinal research is not the best choice because it follows participants over time. Laboratory experiment is different because it tests variables in a controlled setting. Survey research does not fit because it gathers responses from questionnaires. Question 100. Curiosity rises when Elena reads that families are told the study purpose, risks, and rights before agreeing to participate. Which term solves the puzzle? Option A, informed consent. Option B, confidentiality. Option C, debriefing. Option D, random assignment. The correct answer is option A, informed consent. This describes informed consent because participants or guardians must understand key information and voluntarily agree. Confidentiality is not the best choice because it protects private data. Debriefing is different because it explains details after participation. Random assignment does not fit because it assigns participants to groups by chance.